How did the niece of the most famous comedian of all times choose audiology? What is audiology? Stay tuned and we'll find out.
Welcome to The Better Part, a program that encompasses a diverse spectrum of topics important to our community, which we hope will both inform and entertain you. We invite you to sit back and enjoy the program.
I'm Val Jeffrey for The Better Part, and today's guest is a clinical audiologist, Dr. Pamela Von Pinnon. Dr. Pam will teach us about solutions to hearing loss and about hearing aids. She will help us to understand why we should not be afraid of losing our hearing. But she is also going to share some special family moments, because after all, she is the niece of the most famous comedian of all times, Lucille Ball. And you might see a family resemblance. Dr. Pam, thank you for being our guest.
Thank you.
And welcome to The Better Part.
Thank you very much.
Before I get into audiology, I have to ask you about Lucy. What do you remember about her growing up?
I remember that she was a very hard worker. She wasn't afraid to do things that she hadn't done before. She was very creative. The main thing is she wasn't afraid to be silly. And she was just really a caring, wonderful, sweet woman.
So what was it like for you to have a famous aunt like that?
Well, when I was growing up, it didn't occur to me, it didn't really hit me how famous she was. But it's pretty darn special. It's wonderful to have somebody that well known in your family. And my mother's name was Lucille also. And so when my father married my mother, and her name was Lucille Ball too. So there were two Lucille Balls in the family at that time.
So what happened? You can't have two Lucille Balls.
Well, this was during the I Love Lucy days, and I wasn't there, so I don't remember. But I was told that my mother said to my aunt, "Well, we have the same name. One of us is going to have to change it, and who's that going to be?"
Well, we know who that was. So what did she call herself? She didn't call herself Lucille.
Yeah, Lucy.
Lucy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Is it right that your dad was a band manager with your Uncle Desi's band?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, all over the United States, and big job, lot of work. My uncle wasn't home very much. Those were hard times for my aunt because my uncle was on the road the whole time.
Yeah. Had they already met before?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
And they were married at the time. And my aunt and my uncle really wanted children. And they tried for a long time. He came back, and then after that, they started the I Love Lucy. And they came up with having a child on the show. And that was little Ricky. And but my aunt and my uncle really wanted to have children, and finally my aunt became pregnant with my cousin Lucy Arnez and my other cousin Desi Arnez. They named their children right after them.
Did you spend a lot of time together as kids?
Probably up until school age. In fact, I lived in the long trailer at my aunt's. There was a movie, The Long Trailer, and I lived in the long trailer at my aunt's and uncle's property in the San Fernando Valley, right in the middle of the orange groves. And we lived there for a while on the property. And as I grew up, I would come back for school vacations to see my family in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills. And in the summer, I would make trips. And it was a very different kind of life, and really fun.
Did you spend much time actually on the set with her?
When yes, not much, but some. And I remember when they were filming the I Love Lucy series, they had bleachers for the people to sit in. And my grandmother would always take me to the very top of the bleachers, right under a microphone. This big long microphone came down from the ceiling, and I saw several of the episodes of I Love Lucy. And if you watch an I Love Lucy show, and you listen very carefully, you can hear my grandmother with her laugh in the background, which is kind of a like that. Sorry.
Sorry about the audio, guys.
So I saw the I Love Lucy, and then a little later she was involved with Robert Stack and some of the other early actors, and I would be in the area watching. It was fascinating.
That's very special to be able to listen to a program and hear a family member who's no longer with you still being part of it. That's very special.
Yes.
Yeah. Did Lucy have a hearing problem? I'm wondering if we can go from Hollywood to ears. Maybe not.
She didn't. I don't think she had a hearing problem. She heard everything. No, she had good hearing.
Let's go from ears back to eyes. I think this must be either you or Lucy that stares down on me in your office. Tell me about it.
I placed this above one of our displays towards the ceiling, and it's very obvious, and most people don't notice it. It's an embroidered picture, and it's done so well. And people, once I tell someone who it is, they get it. I think you saw who it was right away.
I absolutely did. And beneath her eyes, your Uncle Desi's eyes,
That's
I believe.
Right. That's right.
Yes. It's uncanny. Your eyes are exactly the same color as Lucy's.
Good.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And your hair is the same color too. Is this family trait maybe? Maybe you were Irish? Or?
Well, it's actually a family tradition to buy the bottle of red dye and dye our hair red.
I think back at Lucy, so much pleasure watching the reruns on the TV. And I think my very, very favorite one was the one where she was in the factory making the chocolates, and it was going faster and faster, and she was picking them out and stuffing them in her mouth. That's absolutely priceless. I laugh every time I look at it. Do you have a favorite?
Yes, I do, but I'll tell you, I was there, and I remember that being filmed.
Oh, my goodness.
And what was the funnier part was what they didn't film and show on the series.
Which was?
Which was she had to keep eating chocolate, and it got to be pretty funny behind the scenes. But my favorite episode is Vitamita Vegemin, and I was there when they did that, and that's such a funny episode. I love that one. That's my favorite.
Your very favorite. Do you think that she ever realized how popular she was, or she is now?
You know, she did. She realized that I Love Lucy went over in a very big way. I think she opened the door to women being more out there. She definitely opened the door to silliness, and but I don't think she ever expected that this long after she passed away that people would still be talking about her.
No.
I don't think she had that idea at all. She was modest.
Is there something you did with your Aunt Lucy which has just stuck with you through the years?
Oh gosh, there's so many things that I could talk about. I'll tell you one thing that happened is I used to call her Susie because I couldn't say Lucy. So until she died, I said Aunt Susie. So anyway, my Aunt Susie called me and asked me if I would like a few pieces of furniture from her New York apartment. And I said, sure, I'll take that. So she said, well, you better make sure you're home on that day, and the truck, I'll send the truck with the furniture. So I stayed home from work that day, and the truck pulled up, and it was the longest truck I think I had ever seen. And they started unloading the furniture and unloading and unloading. And I was there alone. My husband was at work, and the movers helped me move the main furniture out of the house into the garage, and we put my aunt's furniture in the house in all the rooms. And then my husband came home from work.
What did
to
he
a whole
say?
new house.
What did he say?
We're divorced.
Oh. He must be the only person in the world that doesn't love Lucy, right?
Well, we changed his environment pretty dramatically. That's for sure.
Oh my goodness.
It was very funny to me.
How come you got so much of the stuff? She just knew that you loved it and would take care of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love her furniture. She used to she liked gold a lot, and yellow, and maroon, and deep colors, and she had beautiful taste.
So Desi, your Uncle Desi, was also a big part of your life. What do you remember about him?
My Uncle Desi was like a big teddy bear. He was wonderful to me. One of my earliest memories was swimming in their pool in the San Fernando Valley, and he was the only one. He used to play with me in the pool and go down the slide, and he was like a little kid. He also would, when I would visit in Del Mar, he would take me to the horse races with he and his friend Jimmy Durante, and so I would go to the horse races with the three of them, and that was a kick. That was a lot of fun.
I hope he didn't teach you to lose too much money.
I don't bet.
Okay, that's good. Pam, this has been really, really special. I thank you so much for sharing your memories and for reassuring me that if I have to wear a hearing aid, it's not that bad.
Oh my gosh, no. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
I'm Val Jeffrey for The Better Part. Thank you for watching, and keep on listening.